Oh man, that's horrible. Just gonna wait a few minutes for people to start getting on. Um, those of you that'll watch this, hey Wendy, hey Chris and Katz, got some pretty interesting information. It's a classic act of retaliation from Fort Campbell against my wife to be kind of unexpected. Totally caught me off guard. It was funny as hell. So I'm gonna wait a little bit. I'm gonna try to get at least about 40 people on, and then I'll start going. But it should be interesting. I'm also gonna go over some of my Fort Campbell BS. How's it going? Yeah, against my wife. It's going to be something that's going to be entertaining, and I got a little surprise for Fort Campbell in stored. It's going to be quite funny. Me and News Now Houston were talking a few minutes ago. We got some good laughs out of the plans that we're going to do. It's it's effing hilarious. But for the most part, it was actually, she hasn't been involved in any of this throughout this whole entire time. So I don't know why they actually sent her this letter, other than pure retaliation, just to harass us further, because they know they really don't have anything, so they're going to try to really do anything and everything possible to try to piss us off. You know, try, you know, I don't know, catch me making a mistake or something or another. I'm pretty sure this isn't going to be the end of it as well. That light's going to come in. I might have to see. Oh, man, that's horrible. All right, we got 30 people watching, so I'm going to go ahead and start going over this. Of course, I ain't going to let y'all know my wife's name. It says, Office of the Garrison Commander. To Mrs. Constitutional Hero. Or Miss Constitutional Hero, whichever one. I don't give a shit right now. Dear Mrs. Constitutional Hero, you are hereby notified that effective immediately, you may not enter, re-enter, or remain upon, engage in activities upon, or be found within the limits of the United States Reservation of Fort Campbell, Kentucky. This basis for this decision is because of your encounter with Tennessee Highway Patrol on March 21st, 2018 for suspicious activity. The nature of your misconduct indicates that you are a threat to health and safety and welfare of residents of Fort Campbell. Any failure on your part to comply with this order will constitute as a violation of, anybody know this violation that they're about to say, because it's completely ridiculous. But they can actually do it to anybody that they choose, legally. So the title is Title 18 of the United States Code, Section 1382. That is criminal trespass. So my wife has been trespassed from Fort Campbell Military Base in Kentucky for having absolutely nothing to do with what I do other than her support, for saying, hey babe, I agree with what you're doing, go ahead and go out and do it. She's never been out on me, or never been with me out on an audit whatsoever. I tried to put as much distance between. No, she wasn't there at all. I was there by myself. It was actually February 6th of this year when I went there. It was my birthday. I am an Aquarius. Unstable. In their eyes, I am. I'm not, though. But, okay. Subjecting you to be fined not more than $5,000. Actually, it's only $500. And or imprisoned for more than 6 months, or both. So they're basically saying that they're going to try to find my wife or imprison my wife that has absolutely nothing to do with it. Of course it is retaliation. Someone got butthurt and had Okay. This, and he goes on to say, this order of exclusion is permanent in nature and can be revoked or modified only in writing by the commander of the installation. So any compelling reason exists which you believe would be sufficient to justify a moderation or termination of this order, you should submit it in writing and request sent by mail to headquarters. Okay. I'm going to show y'all this guy's name for the record when this video gets done. I'm going to attach all information possible to Fort Campbell, and I would like for y'all to call and light them up with questions. You know, I mean, because that's absolutely ridiculous. Now, there's a mention in this notice. Basis for my decision is your encounter with Tennessee Highway Patrol on March 22nd, 2018 for suspicious activity. My wife never, ever made contact on March 21st, 2018 with Tennessee Highway Patrol. You know who made contact that day, right? It was me. News Now Houston and News Now Tennessee. We were up in Nashville. So how do they associate my wife with this encounter? Of course, they already got all of our information. You know, it's all been sent to the Fusion Center. We're probably on the terrorist watch list, so on and so forth. You know, they've already tried to revoke made a notion. Fort Campbell has made a notion to the chief of police to revoke my handgun carry permit. Now, I'm just assuming that at that point. I've been on that. Yeah, you have. Yeah, Anonymous, you've been on that list for a while now. Guilty by association. Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure the courts have struck that down many times. Can't be guilty by association. All right, I definitely agree. Screw them. So, I'm going to go over what they actually are trying to charge me with from Fort Campbell. And I got my stack of papers and my case that I've been building against them. You know, the Supreme Court has ruled that Fort Campbell or any military installation must have a designated allotted easement for protest, you know, stuff like that, freedom of speech, so on and so forth. You know, they've also got to establish a demarcation line that separates their property from everywhere else, which Fort Campbell doesn't have one at all. There's never been one there. I've got pictures of that to prove it. Even Google Earth has pictures of that to prove it. But we're going to go over some of my stuff. Any late viewers, just put in the comments below if you want to know what this was originally about, and I'll get you caught up. Okay, so my violation was for 18 U.S.C. 1382, criminal trespass, which in this stack of papers right over here, you know, I've got my gold tickets. Yeah, they're worried about my wife, Sam. She's about 97 pounds soaking wet. Had 4 open heart surgeries, and they're worried about my wife. Yeah, because she's a fucking terrorist. Oh yeah, definitely, definitely gray. Gray shadows. You're right. So you know the gist of 18 U.S.C. 1382. You know, they're saying $5,000 fine. It's only a $500 fine, 6 months imprisonment, or both. They said and this is my paperwork from that day. Entry onto a military reservation for the purpose prohibited by law, trespassing, under 18 U.S.C. 1382. Now, the second part, which they don't note it in the violation, but they sure as hell check it on this memorandum box, or memorandum sheet, which is concealed carry on or about a person under, now this is Kentucky Code, News Now Anonymous, if you can elaborate on this code, and there's Tennessee Code too, and I'll get to that one too, and that's KRS 5227.020. And the Tennessee portion of that would be TCA 39-17-1307. Now, with 1307, not that one either. I really should have organized these before I started doing this. There it is. Alright. Now, 39-17-1307 is one of the also charges that they're going to try to throw at me in court. Unlawful possession or carry of a weapon. I said that backwards. It's unlawful carry or possession of a weapon. Dyslexia is a bitch. I wrote a big old NA on this paper because it's non-applicable to my situation. Okay. Now, under Section A, Subsection 1, a person commits an offense who carries, with the intent to go armed, with a firearm or a club. Section 2, Subsection A. The first violation of this subsection is a Class C misdemeanor. An additional possible imprisonment as provided by law may be punishable by a fine not to exceed $500. A second subsequent violation of this subsection is a Class B misdemeanor. A violation of this subsection is a Class A misdemeanor if a person carries a handgun occurring at a place open to the public where one or more persons are present. Now, that's ridiculous, but there's more to this subsection. A person commits an offense who unlawfully possesses a firearm as defined in 39-11-106. A person who has been convicted of a felony involving the use of attempted force, violence, or a deadly weapon, or has been convicted of a felony drug offense, and pretty much from here on out it's all felonies, so on and so forth, which really doesn't pertain to me at all, so I really don't care to read anymore. But it goes more on to defense to unlawful possession, so on and so forth. I'll read some of your comments real quick. Try to get in here. Try to get back up to the top. See. Yeah, she was. Who was that? Joe Dick. Trespassed, and she was never on their property. Correct. Never. My wife has never went on Fort Campbell other than one time, probably when we were first dating, and that was to go to the fireworks show. Yeah, denial of access to due process, that's another good point. I don't know how you say Fahad Alas. I don't know how to pronounce your name. But Fahad, yeah, we're very lucky we're in the U.S. We are in the freest country in this world. But for the most part, I just really don't understand it. You know, other than it being a classic case of retaliation, you know, I keep on reiterating that because it's truly amazing the lengths that they're going to be willing to go to as far as and, you know, I'm really not in it for the money. You know, did they trespass me at Fort Campbell? Hell yeah. Yeah, I still got to appear in court. They still haven't filed their little citation. I don't think they ever will. Technically, since they want to cite TCA and federal code USC, they can actually do kind of both. So, yeah, from public property. Yeah, it was on public property, within the public easement. Utilities all around me, gas line, power line, street signs, so on and so forth. There's no demarcation line to state where the property ends and begins, so on and so forth. Completely ridiculous. You know, there's people. No, you don't have to commit a crime to be trespassed at all. You can trespass anybody you want. So if you have a name, a first and last name, you can go trespass that person. You know, I actually had to trespass somebody from my old residence back in the day. Yeah, from public property, you would, they really can't trespass you from public property. It's not happening. But they can trespass me from coming onto their installation, period. The feed will be a little bit foggy. It's just how it rolls in live stream. Unless you've got, you know, 1080p. I'm not running 1080p. If I run 1080p, it'll lag and people will lose it and everything. So they're not trying to distract me. It's all about harassment. What am I smoking? I don't smoke. The only thing I smoke is cigarettes. But no, it's just pure and simple. It's straight up harassment across the board. They have nothing better to do. They're basically trying to intimidate me to the point where I don't do nothing. You know, but I'm not going to let this go. They're going to have to file the paperwork eventually. Technically, here in Tennessee, there is a statute of limitations that basically they could wait 3 years, up to 3 years, to officially charge me. Officially. Now, this is somewhat official, but it's not official until I've had my first court date. Because I'm innocent until proven guilty. It is not the other way around. I don't have a burden of proof. They have to prove that I'm guilty. I don't have to prove that I'm innocent. They have to prove that I'm guilty. Pure and simple as it is. I am free from burden of proof. And I hope they realize that. Now, I don't know. I don't know exactly when they plan to file it. I've been calling CIV for the last, well, hell, since February. Oh, most definitely. All this paperwork that I have spread out over here has to be submitted into evidence as part of my case. You know, and this actually goes from United States of America versus Joe Dennis Appel, which is one of the good ones. This one would be Supreme, what is this? Jimmins versus Texas. United States versus Appel again. I've got 2 copies of that. One was more detailed. Flower versus United States is another good one. And that would be the transit system that actually runs the entirety of the base. All the bus stops along that route. Through wax paper lenses? No. You know, I've been trying to figure out a way to stream through my GoPro. I plan to, but, you know, this is not really supposed to be, you know, of great quality or anything like that. This is, you know, mainly, yeah, the DHS memo, you know, 2010, it does apply. But you have to be careful how you apply the DHS memo. But this is mainly a time for me to interact with y'all, you know, answer some questions. Yes, I got a copy of the GSI survey as well. This fucking nightmare of horse shit that I got to deal with. Where did everything else go? Yeah, I'm unlawfully carrying, but, you know, I've got a handgun permit, you know. Tell me why I still got my permit. Assholes. It's assholes and elbows. I'm trying to find my other papers for y'all. That way y'all can see some pretty interesting information as long as I got it all set up. What the fuck did I actually do with it? Oh, it fell on the damn ground. No, it didn't. That's not it. Son of a bitch. Well, it don't surprise me that I lose my shit every once in a while. I thought I had it organized before I started doing this, and then lo and behold, it's unorganized. Here we go. Let's see. All right, so pretty much we'll start from the top. That's a good old picture of the Fort Campbell Courier. I took this picture from inside the post, okay, showing their proceedings on what they do, you know, pretty much more detailed than what I could actually see. Here's another one. Yeah, I mean, that pretty much gives you some good info when you can see, and you can Google Earth all this. You know, it's pretty amazing the things that you can actually see what they're doing from their own sources inside the base. You know, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous that they would be worried about somebody outside the base when the last terrorist act that was committed here in Tennessee by anybody around our general location was done by a Fort Campbell soldier, other than the one that happened in Chattanooga. That and the church shooting, which we all know they hopped him up on some damn meds. So right here is the point that I was at, about right around in this general area, and you can pretty much see the main road running through it. There's bus stops all up and down this way, going clear up to Kentucky area and everything. So, but from what Fort Campbell says, they actually say that the Fort Campbell actually owns, let's see, I didn't print off the whole damn statement. They actually say they own everything up to the center line on the road, or the middle of the road, which is complete horseshit. If you look at the GSI survey, it states a lot differently than what they're actually saying that they own. Cats can't be trusted. Yeah. I believe cats and rats should be in the same category. I hate cats. Trying to find the one of the fucking easement of Tennessee GIS survey that I had printed out. But yeah, I'm actually kind of amazed that they trespassed my wife. That has had no basis in this whole entire thing, other than calling up there to see if they had actually detained me that day. You know, which they didn't detain me, they kidnapped me. They took me off of publicly accessible land and kidnapped me and took me on their base. That's exactly what happened. Here it is. Alright, so this is the Tennessee GIS survey. Right here. This road, right here. Okay. So you can... So this is coming into base this direction, okay. So there's a gas line that runs right here and everything. There's telephone poles around up in here on this side, street signs. There's a gas main that's actually a little bit closer to over here. You know, which it'll be submitted as part of evidence and everything, you know. You know, the Supreme Court has already ruled that they must have an allotted space for protests, First Amendment activities, so on and so forth. You know, they don't own the road, okay? I can't legally walk in the road. That's against the law. You know, there's no sidewalk. I would be impeding traffic. So I would have to yeah, I'd appreciate all information, Anonymous, that you have. You know, it'd be greatly appreciated. News Now Houston's sending me over a whole bunch of shit. So, you know, hopefully, because I know for a fact that they're going to try to charge me, hands down. They're going to try everything within their power to make the charges stick. Because, for one, they don't want a lawsuit, which I plan to do. You know, now, just for the simple fact that you are trying to harass my wife, I'm going to sue the shit out of y'all. Pure and simple as it is. And the funny part about me saying y'all, directly to y'all, is because I know they're watching. And y'all ain't scaring nobody. At all. But, yeah. my wife was kind of irritated at first. But I told her what was going on. She calmed down a little bit. So, but other than that, you know, it's going to be short, sweet, to the point. I really don't plan to be on here too long. I appreciate it. But, you know, it's just crazy that they got so triggered. You know, they swore an oath to uphold the Constitution and to protect us. But what do we see them consistently doing? It has nothing to do with protecting us. You know, they violate their oath to the Constitution. They don't want to protect us anymore. They're becoming more and more like Police State USA, like we're already dealing with the police as it is. So, in my mind, doesn't that make them just paid mercenaries? I mean, would you agree with that at that point? Since you're going to defy your oath, you're going to violate somebody's rights. Okay, then you're no longer should be employed with the military. Yes, that is a Mark Dice shirt. Liberalism find a cure. You know, I don't identify as a liberal. I don't identify as a Republican, Democrat. You know, identify as a constitutionalist. Definitely. 007. That's about all I got before it went off. I agree with you 110%. Unconstitutional standing army. Well, and the point of that being, the reason why we still have a standing army is because that's the only way that they can really tax us. So if we're constantly at war with people, because taxes are only supposed to be implemented during wartime. So if we're constantly at war with everybody, then we're constantly getting taxed. You know, I believe it to still be a case of taxation without representation. You know, the government comes and takes from you whenever, however they want, and if you don't pay that, they're going to seize you, seize your property, and you're going to do some time. If you drill oil. In Norway, you get taxed 75% if you drill oil. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. Not surprising, though. You know, since when has a man had a right to his own earnings? Never. There's always been some sort of special interest. You know, that's just like with marriage. Back in the day, you didn't have to pay for your marriage license. It was a union between you, your wife, and God. Okay? So, when the government got involved and that first person paid that taxes for his marriage license, it was like, holy shit, we can make a lot of money off of this. That's all it's about. They no longer have our best interests in mind. Haven't had it for a very long time. It's absolutely ridiculous. You know, which is funny because talking about the government and stuff like that, the NRA just got done calling me, and they were wanting me to renew my $300 pledge, and I told them hell no. I told the NRA hell no. You know, they pick and choose the little battles that they want. You know, like the whole bump stock issue. Where were they at protesting up in arms about that shit? They just let that thing go right on through. Oh, because Donald Trump wanted it. I don't give a fuck who wants it. You know, if you're going to support the Constitution of the United States, you have to support it. Period. There is no debate. There is no compromise when it comes to the Constitution of the United States to me. Period. But for the most insane part of my day was calming my wife down. For all y'all that are just getting in here, my wife received a notice from Fort Campbell that she had been trespassed from Fort Campbell military installation because of my actions. Because of my actions. Which they can legally trespass anybody they want. So, this is my plan. And they have to do it. Okay? My wife wasn't involved, period. Pure and simple as it is. Okay? So, this, where did I put that damn thing at? Okay, here it is. This Joseph P. Kuchan, or whatever the hell his name is, I'm going to type up a formal letter trespassing this guy from my property. And that is the U.S. Army Colonel. And I'm going to get it certified mailed to him. If it gets returned, it gets returned. But it's also going to have a notary seal and everything else on it. So I'm going to trespass the guy that trespassed my wife. Because if he comes on this property, there's going to be another story to be had. It's absolutely ridiculous that they want to sit here and harass my wife. Fucking ridiculous. So I'm going to go ahead and take some of your questions now. If anybody's got them, go ahead and post them in the comments. And I'll get to them one at a time. Probably going to have to take it outside. I need a damn cigarette. I don't know if they would be likely to come on my property. My wife wasn't likely to come on their property, so, I mean, why trespass her? Let's see. What the fuck is the colonel enacting Sharia law, coming after your family? They better not come after my family. You better get out of here, cat. I'll fucking kill you dead. Ugh. There was no due process. From my understanding, they really don't have to give you due process when it comes to trespass. They can pretty much trespass anybody they want. It's not like they charged her with anything like that. Was your car? No, my car's in my name. Everything's in my name. The only way that they would have known who my wife was is when she called down there and asked if they had actually had me detained in a cell, which they did. She didn't know where I was at. I was unable to call her because they snatched me up so fast. Alright, Boomer, recap for you. So my wife received a certified letter in the mail from the U.S. Army colonel here at Fort Campbell, trespassing her from Fort Campbell for my actions. They referenced a time and date of March 21st, 2018. My incident happened on February 6th, 2018. The incident that they're referring to was March 1st, 2018, with Tennessee Highway Patrol up in Nashville at the Department of Safety and Homeland Security. Me and News Now Houston and News Now Tennessee went down there and we did an audit. They got triggered. They followed us and stalked us for about 3 hours. I had some bitch wearing some tight pants, cutting off the circulation to her legs, telling us that we had to prove to her that we weren't criminals. We needed ID. You know, it was all about the children. We weren't videotaping children. We were videotaping the government buildings. So that's pretty much what they're trying to constitute as a reason to trespass my wife for something that I did. They said that she is now a public or a threat to public health and safety of the residents of Fort Campbell. Yeah, it was a while back. Yeah, that's pretty much bullshit. You know, it's all about retaliation at this point. Intimidation, harassment. You know, I'm not stopping. They want me to stop. You know, it's just like the police officers and sheriffs around here. They want me to stop. They can drop dead because I'm not stopping. You know, y'all want to be tyrants. Y'all want to violate people's civil rights and shit like that. I'm gonna videotape the shit out of y'all. Pure and simple as it is. Expect to see a lot more of me. The Bill of Rights would demand that the people support the government. Now, you don't have to support the government. You don't have to support it. I can say right now, I hate my government. I'm still a U.S. citizen. I'm not a sovereign citizen at all. I don't believe in that sovereign citizen bullshit that other people spout out their mouths. You know, that's ridiculous. I was born an American. I'm still an American. I don't have to support the way that my government is ran. Yes, I would agree with Gray Shadows. It is okay to support a lawful government. Great comment. but ours is not. You're right. What was your comment about then? I must have misread it. You said there is no compromise to the Constitution. Isn't that what an audit is? Oh, okay. I did misread that. I apologize. I did support Trump. I actually voted for him. I really don't like to get too political. You got what you deserved, huh? So when the cops beat the shit out of you, you get what you deserve too, Richard 75, huh? You're not an American, but yes. So if the cops beat the shit out of you, you got what you deserved. It's probably a good thing that you're not an American. But for the most part, you know, I have family members that have served. My dad was Fifth Special Forces. He actually was stationed at Fort Campbell. I grew up on Fort Campbell. I went to Lincoln Elementary School. I lived on a street called Beer Street, which I told I told the MPs that day, you know, where I lived at. You know, told them that I go to their fireworks show every year. You know, I participate in most of the support our troop events. We had a big one, and I was out there video recording everything. When they have the air shows, I go to the air shows on post. And you'll see dozens of people with video cameras recording the air show, recording, you know, the whole entire event. You know, but they pick and choose. You know, when they see it's okay, then it's okay. But if they don't like it, you know, they're not going to allow you to do it. Oh, it's like got this guy trolling me, convict troller, which he trolls most of the other First Amendment auditors, trying to tell everybody I'm a convicted felon, stuff like that, you know. But you know, I'm always carrying, you know, so I don't see how a felon can carry a firearm. You know, photography is not a crime, so when they deem it a crime, you know, we got to stand together and get behind one another. For the most part, a lot of people have sent me some valuable information on this. Give criminal trespass warnings to the entire police force in your city. They would, I actually thought about doing that, but I'm pretty sure they'd find a way to say that I was abusing the system, which they always attempt to do one way or another. So this is like if you call 911 on a police officer or something around that general set, they'll try to say that you're abusing the 911 center. Let's see. I don't know how to pronounce your name. But if photography is not a crime, assuming that you are referring to public, why can't you film children? Okay, here in Tennessee, there's it's kind of vague when it comes to that. You know, if you're out in public, I can pretty much record anything I want. You know, on the TCA law here in Tennessee, when they reference children and videos and stuff like that. It's has mainly to do with sexual purposes, like sexual arousals and stuff like that, which, you know, I mean, that's against the law. That's fucking sick. So, you know, now you can't film children for that purposes, and you should probably be put to death if you do. But, you know, if I'm out in public, and let's say I'm at the park and I'm recording my son playing and there's 1,000 other kids playing, you know, if they want to try to come and arrest me, you go right the fuck ahead. You know, it's not going to happen. You know, it's publicly accessible. I can film anything I want from public view. I don't agree with filming children, you know, because there are predators out there, and they do try to target children. So that's why I don't do it. If there's a child that comes into my video, I always edit it out. That way I don't have to worry about it. You know, I don't have to worry about their safety or anything else like that. You know, hell, we were at an event with my child at another park. It was a grand opening, and there were several people out there recording it, and I'm pretty sure that they got my child, but was I worried about it? No. You know, I'm not worried about it to that degree. You know, most people that do get worried about it to that degree, I don't understand their goals with that at all, whatsoever. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut her off. I definitely appreciate all y'all watching. I got another interesting video coming up here soon. So please hit that like and subscribe, and you know, keep an eyeball out. Y'all take it easy. Remember, your camera is your most powerful tool. You see something, record something.